summer's evening, standing on the mound. The ballpark's full of cheering crowd. Home team's back in town with all pitches at his command.
Good evening, everybody. You're listening to another edition of the Painting Corners Baseball Podcast. I'm your co-host, as always, Johnny C., joined by Aidan Smith. We're talking trade deadline rumors, the Ryan Jeffers sweepstakes, the Mets, a cautionary tale in real time, and is Derek Skubal, or is it Tarik Skubal? I don't know. But the Detroit Tigers might be charging a high tariff upon him to ship him. Houston, are they doing a goodbye tour, or are we buyers? Can't tell Dana Brown's face. Got a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. Aidan, where do you want to start tonight, and how's your week been?
Things are good. We got, less than a week until, or a little over a week, I guess, until the deadline on the 3rd. So the first big trade that we've seen come in is Curtis may have a mead, sir, for Connelly Early.
What? Boom?
So,
what now?
So 4 years of right-handed power bat at third base, right? 25, 30 bombs a year. Not a very good third baseman. -9 outs above average, which actually happens to be first percentile. And so it's worth pondering whether perhaps he's more of a first baseman. But he does technically have the ability to play third, and 500 slug, 852 OPS. He's got that nice 358 xWOBA right now. Pretty nice. And you look at that whiff, 84th percentile, 17.8% whiff with that kind of power is a really nice combination.
Oh, he's Australian. Oh, how you going, mate? That's fantastic. 17 bombs, 135 WRC plus. These are numbers and words that give me faith in Curtis Mead. I'll hoist a glass mug, tankard. Mead. What's the Mead vessel? The going.
Ooh. What is the vessel?
It could be a Painting Corners baseball hat. You could fill it up with mead. It's got this little sip slit here. Easy access for a mead.
Should we get mead goblins for the PC merch site?
You mean goblets, like goblets of fire?
Let's get some mead goblets and some mead goblins, whatever those are.
Let's get this center camera. Everyone go to painting-corners.com. Get yourself a nice little merch. We got toddler clothes, bumper stickers, sweatpants, hats, and apparently goblets of fire. So you too anyway. We're not going to get into Harry Potter lore tonight. We'll finish the loop on Curtis Mead, Australian-born, 25-year-old. This is an interesting trade because it wraps up a couple loops I was going to get into before it happened. There's all this talk of, like, Zach Neto, right?
Yeah.
Bomb-hitting Phillick shortstop under pretty good control for the Angels. Angels homegrown stud. Is he going to go to Boston? Mm-hmm. Or is C.J. Abrams going to go to Boston? Or is C.J. Abrams going to go to New York? Are the Stros selling Jeremy Pena? Common denominator, infielders on the move, shortstop, up the middle adjacent players with some promise and youth going to newfangled contenders in the Red Sox. Curtis Mead fits this. 17 bombs and a breakout 26, so they're betting on him to succeed. What are we giving up here? Because Connelly's got, I think, control through 2030. Dude, Connelly Early's got control through 31. Mead's got control through 2030. So this is like I'm betting on this horse swap.
Yeah, it's definitely a 4 versus 5 year team control situation, and you might say this is antithetical to organizations like the Rays and Brewers. This is the kind of trade that like Dave Dombrowski would make, when he needs somebody. And what I mean by that is technically it's a negative value trade, which Craig Breslow probably was gritting his teeth when he signed when he docu-signed this deal, but he
Explain.
probably had to do it. Well, meaning, whether you're using baseball trade values or the algos that MLB organizations have, there's an assessed value for everything, right? And the component that you add in, one of the main components that you add in, that neutralizes a negative value trade and makes it logical for a team is urgency. So,
Mhm.
if you need, let's say, right-handed power, and you're one of 4 or 5 teams willing to bid on that right-handed power, since you're one of that group, you're going to have to bid the highest to get that bat. And what that means is you're probably bidding over what makes sense from an algo, right?
So the Alcoholics Anonymous, it's kind of the
Mm-hmm.
inverse. It's not the gift of desperation; it's the curse of desperation. So
Mm.
when you're addicted to the algorithm here in baseball trading, desperation is not a good thing to have because everyone can smell it.
Not good.
You can't BS a BSer. They're all CIA studs over there, so they know what's going on. Can't hide what you need. That's the thing. Like it's sort of like you know going to the beach. You know, can't hide. You can't hide. You
I'm
are what you
I'm
are.
interested to see where this is going. Oh, so you mean from a physical standpoint, you can't hide.
I'm not, analogously. The point is, the standings reveal the need. The statistics, the derivative stats, they reveal the need. They go into these algos, and these machines spit out essentially a this guy is super desperately needed by this one team, so price hike away.
Yep.
And it sounds like that's what you're saying, but to the credit of Breslow and the Sox, they they didn't get completely fleeced. I think Connelly Early, high control, potentially big ceiling pitcher, but you're getting what you need right now. And what if Mead pops off? Like a rookie in 26 with a 135 WRC plus and 17 bombs. Let's pretty much call it halfway through the season. That's something. And if we can even be more extrapolate boys, the Nationals have this penchant for maybe not penance, but pushing out punchy offensive players right off the rip. Like their team is just full
Mhm.
stack of these guys fresh off the farm, hitting bombs and consistently doing so, not being these like one hit wonders. So
Yeah, I would agree with pretty much everything said there. Well put, Johnny. So 5 years of
yes,
early, 89 point delta for early's ERA versus xERA. So 3.44 ERA, 4.33 X. So that's, frontline, maybe number two starter, let's say on a good team versus like more middle of the rotation average ERA, right? Or maybe even a little bit below average. So average exit velo 90.6, so he's getting hit pretty hard, 12% or 12th percentile barrel rate, 32nd percentile on hard hit. So there's actually not a lot of red on Early's Baseball Savant if you actually take a peek over there, but he's got a 6 pitch mix, which you love with the 24-year-old college lefty. So there are things to like for sure. That you like the movement profile, 30-degree arm angle, nice. And to me, I think this trade is probably a little bit of an overpay by Boston, but when you consider the context of supply and demand, not only is right-handed power the thing that everybody wants right now on one side of the equation, on the other side of the equation, let's talk about supply and demand for starting pitching, right?
yeah,
So
true.
a couple of years ago, controllable young starting pitching was the number one thing that everyone wanted, right? And we're seeing a little bit of a pivot to power from the right side being arguably the number one thing. I think honestly, maybe the number two thing right now is high leverage bullpen. But with how much depth the Red Sox have in that starting rotation,
Hmm.
you can really start to see how they were okay with a little bit of an overpay for Mead. but he's got to be the guy that he's been this year, particularly since he's not really a good defender. And if you move him to first base, we've talked about this before, but you run out of options for the guy if you have another player that you need at first base. You know, and Tristan Casas was in this situation, right? He's had his injuries and things, but it's the only position he can play. So if you have Rafi at first, let's say, and then you have Tristan at first, I mean, what do you do? And then you have Massa, and you see how it becomes a logjam. And so with me, that's a little bit of a concern, but yeah, a little bit of an overpay by Boston.
It's interesting how this wipes a couple pieces off the chessboard. I was wondering what our discussion would look like, with its shortstops are wild and they may be going many places at once. Also, in the discussion is catching premium position, and everyone's talking about Shea Langoliers, Ryan Jeffers. Some murmurs of Hunter Goodman, but it seems like the Rockies are resigned to keeping him while also doing a fire sale. I don't get them. I'm not going to try to parse that psychology tonight. So Langoliers is now off the board by torn meniscus. The shortstop need, the acute one of the Red Sox, is off the board. And not only are players off the board, because we're not talking about Connelly Early last week. We're not talking about Curtis Mead last week. We're talking about Zach Neto and C.J. Abrams, Jeremy Pena. But when the acute need is pulled, right, that gravitational pull, that curse of desperation, what is the algo saying now, right? And how does that change things? I think for me, if I had to do a quick rundown of what's going to happen, I've got a basic take and a hot take. My basic take is Mason Miller becomes a Yankee, C.J. Abrams becomes a Yankee, Tarik Skubal becomes a Dodger. That's my safe take. And my spicy take is the Astros pull a Jim Crane, Justin Verlander 2017 move and go get Tarik Skubal. And who do they trade to get him? They give up Kevin Alvarez or Xavier Nyans at a single A.
Or you're saying Xavier or Alvarez?
Go look at those cats. You'll know it's an or.
I don't know. So
You've
all
been
you're
following?
doing is you're so you're sending Xavier and that's it for Tarik?
You're
Is
gonna
that
send
the
some. You're gonna send something else in there, like somebody from the major league roster or someone on the taxi squad, the Sugarland elevator service, whatever. But it's not just him. But that's the headliner is gonna be,
yeah.
or why the Tigers would be interested. You'd have to know I've been following Kevin Alvarez and Xavier Nines for a minute. It's really special what's going on there.
Yeah, so the comp is to Tarik right now that I've seen that the Athletic actually put out is David Price when David Price was moved from Tampa Bay. Lefty in the prime, Cy Young quality guy, right? Making a big run for those last 2 months plus postseason. And I mean, they got a top 25 prospect back, right? So the question is, are either of those guys top 25 prospects in baseball? I don't think so. Right?
No.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to offer a headliner that would match that. So you're gonna have to offer like a Sebastian Walcott type guy to
Okay.
to get Tarik, in my opinion. Max Clark, I mean, he's in Detroit, obviously, but someone at that level would
Yeah.
net Tarik. You put some supplemental things around that guy, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're getting Tarik. But again, similar to the conversation with Early, but just on steroids, right? So, uh, we're talking about the guy that every team wants. So if you even have, let's say, north of I don't know, 15% chance of postseason berth, you want Tarik on your team, no?
Right. Right.
So you're gonna have what, at least 7, 8 teams making like a somewhat serious offer, putting together some kind of package. Now we might not think Tampa Bay is going to get Tarik, but do we really think they're not going to put together a competitive offer? I mean, I think they will. I think Milwaukee might put together a competitive offer.
Really.
Yeah,
You know?
wouldn't you? You have the best farm
I
system
would.
in baseball.
I'm skeptical of
Yeah.
the MLB's pipeline for prospects rankings meaning something. I think that there's something to the analytics. It's like the game within the game. It's sort of like when CIA spies meet. They have the conversation of diplomacy, but there's this like subtext conversation going on that can't be really spoken about out loud, and they go through back channels to do something. I think that's kind of how it is here, where the MLB pipeline, yeah, it's relevant in some cases, like a Paul Skeens obviously is a 1-1 and all that, but I think there is the analytics machines can see a little bit better. I could just be coping and hoping for Houston to have a shot, but also maybe not. We'll see.
Now, I mean, let me be clear. Xavier is from Seattle area, Everett.
Yeah,
So I would love to see that kid succeed. I mean, he's got that 65 grade power. Oof.
yeah. You got to see his stats, and single A, it's like every single night it's a bomb. And,
You know, I gotta know, Johnny, now that we're looking at prospect packages for these guys,
yeah,
we all know that everyone just has a scouting tool, one of the 5 tools that just gets you out of bed in the morning, right? And I gotta know, is it the cannon from right field? Is it like the 70, 80 grade power? Like what gets you out of bed, Johnny?
it's the power. I love a natural hitter, dude.
Oh,
I want power. Let's not kid around.
oh man. So Jordan's your guy, right?
I'm a Jordan man for life. I'm
Oh
like keep
yeah.
Pena, pay Jordan, get Skubal at any cost. Let's show these people what we're made of. But I really think that there is this like unstoppable force that is going to meet this perfect storm of an opportunity to acquire a All-Star Cy Young worthy lefty, and that's the Dodgers. And that's the unstoppable force. I think they just have such deep pockets to pay him. It would be like a Bam Bam, right? Acquire the permission to make a bid and then make the bid via paying Skubal instantly and signing him to a long-term contract. And at that point, we probably close the podcast, get into a new line of work, and move to LA. No.
So yeah, no baseball next year. They get Tarik, right?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know. Like, we've kind of done this thing. It's sort of like when people were so like, I have no political opinions at all, but like I just remember this one time when people were really upset about like the current president, and then it's like the same people that were upset are like wishing him happy birthday. You know, I think like Obama's like happy birthday Trump, and it's just like, wait, I thought he was like evil or something, and like why are you wishing him happy birthday right now? And I don't know. I don't have any opinion. I just think it's sort of like that with the Dodgers, where it's like last year and the year before they're kind of evil because it's like, okay, they got Glass now, then Yamamoto, then Roki, and then Tanner Scott, and then
Wait, so just to be clear, Johnny, should we or should we not be wishing Shohei happy birthday?
absolutely. It's
Okay.
kind of what I'm getting to is like I may not like love politics because it's like not a good thing or whatever. That's just me. I like to stay out of it. But I think wishing happy birthday to Shohei Ohtani is a great thing. And I've come around full circle on this.
Really?
I've actually had a cathartic moment I'd like to share to the audience. I was a Shohei hater. Okay?
You are.
I was.
It's true.
I was. It was. Let it ring. Let freedom ring. I'm free now. I'm a free man. I can say Shohei Ohtani is cool now to me. And you know why?
Because you've left the cave.
No. Well, yes. Why did I leave the cave?
Because you kept hearing the crack of Shohei's bat hitting lasers.
I like that. But I could just go to Munataka for that. Moonshot Munataka. But here's where it's at real quick. The Dalton rushing saga is one of those beautiful things. I think
okay.
that was beautiful. Like, it was the first time I saw Shohei show feelings in a negative sense. He kind of broke out of that matrix of the agreeable.
You liked it.
I loved it. He got mad, he got salty, and then get this.
Yeah.
The full comeback arc where when Dalton made it through all the shade and the shame. He still succeeded, proving he is actually a stud. And then Shohei congratulated him in this like redemptive "I forgive you" without having to say it.
That's class right there.
Come on, man. That's leadership. That's cool. So, shout out Shohei and the dog. I'm working on the dog and the ice cream stuff, but like New Balance is a cool sponsor, and you know, his translator didn't do it. But so we love Shohei.
Honestly, I feel like it's one of those things where Shohei was good too at one point, and then you felt like he went to the dark side. And then you realize that he was your baseball dad.
Whoa.
And
what?
then he balanced the force. And now you love him.
See, I look at it as I thought the Dodgers were the Sith, and I thought the Sith were bad. But now, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Plug Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. Plug Dalton Rushing. We love you, Dalton.
Somebody needs to make an edit of like
Friend of the
Shohei on Mustafar with Decoy just like force choking.
Joe, can we clip that, Joe?
I kind of like, you know, whatever, but if Tarik goes to the Dodgers, I don't think baseball's done. I think it's just kind of like wishing happy birthday to Trump or something. It's like, okay, all right, I guess we're here now.
So do you think it's that the core MLB audience will do a shrug? Just, oh, okay.
That's kind of what I'm saying. It's like, you know, on one hand, it's like Orange Man, worst dictator in history. Then like 2 years later, it's like Obama's wishing him a happy birthday on Twitter. It's kind of like that. It's like we've moved past the Overton window, or we've been desensitized, or we've been memory hold. Call it what you want. And I think the medium is the message. I think that baseball has successfully become NBA-ified. I think there's enough social media now. We have breached containment, and people don't really care that much about like the political economy of fairness. I think they're just like, Shohei's cool, whatever, man, who cares?
I've also noticed there seems to be a bigger emphasis on individual players in the last 4 or 5 years in MLB, the way that it's been in NBA.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, you have younger people following that one guy, you know, and if that guy gets traded, it's, you know, you're lukewarm toward that former team because you're all in on that guy. You know, it'd be like if you were all in on Jordan, and Jordan is what gets you to turn that television on, you know? Do you care about Houston Astros if Jordan's traded, if you're just a Jordan guy? And there seems to be an increase in that kind of fan, right? In MLB.
Yeah, you know what did it for me? The moment, actually, I can mark it, was when Google Cloud started doing their AI edits of like, it's a hot day, and when you take your dog to the park, batters are 41.7% more likely to hit 6 million home runs. And you're like, okay, so we're doing that now. And I just, it felt very NBA, whatever, man. That's great. Good for the sport. That's fine. More viewers is good. That was the moment, though, when we started seeing the AI ads that I was like, this is different. It's not like MasterCard credit card commercials with like wistful Field of Dreams music and like soft edits of you and your dad going to a game together. You know, seeing the green reveal as you walk out of the concourse. It's not that. We're now in like AI multicolor mode. That's fine.
I actually do have a philosophical question for you on that.
Dude, we are so off the rails. I love this.
Are you a Big Tent guy or are you a purist guy? Like,
Big
do you
Tent?
want... Yeah, Big Tent.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm a solo, one-man, Durston, X-Mid Pro, bushcraft, winter camping guy. That's me. I have a hard
I'm
time
not-
sharing with others and playing nice. I have a tough
Yeah.
time. I'm doing my best here. I'm doing my
Not
best.
sure we answered the questions, folks, but that's okay. Let's talk about CJ in Washington. The only defensive shortstop available that's worse than Zach Neto.
Whoa. Are we saying CJ Abrams is the defensive shortstop that's available? The joke did not miss. I love that. That's great. That's a good bit. Joe, clip that. That's awesome. Yeah, CJ Abrams not a shortstop. Zach Neto not really a shortstop, but they play shortstop and they seem to have a good time. They seem to like it. Their self-esteem is high. Okay,
They do.
cool.
Yeah.
In that sense, I am a Big Tent guy. I'm Big Tent for like non-defensive shortstops guy.
Watch out, folks. We get a Big Ten guy.
Come on in. It's more like a
Big Ten guy.
It's a wigwam. All together now. So CJ Abrams is a baller. One side note, I actually did a 1-for-1 trade in fantasy baseball 2 years ago, won the league. I got Aaron Judge in exchange for a very hot-hitting CJ Abrams rookie year. So, you know.
Do you have a copy of that trade on your shelf somewhere? Or?
Yeah, the North Face isn't the only place that does fleeces. I do as well. So, CJ Abrams is a stud, though. I was kind of like, back to my earlier point about the Curtis Mead deal. After that rookie hot start, I was like, man, is he going to regress? What does the mean look like for this guy? But he's still good. He's still great. And they're still a super offensive ball club. All these guys just come out of the farm and they're like, awesome. James Wood notwithstanding.
I mean, the Nationals lineup, similar to Pittsburgh, is a buzzsaw, man. I mean, it's Keibert Ruiz is good. They have the most homers in baseball, 156 bombs, and it's a deep lineup. I mean, the other thing is, even when you look at the actual numbers for an individual player, you have the Luis Garcia breakout, of course, who probably will be traded, but we'll see. You also have guys like Nasim Nunez, who, you look at it, okay, 287 WOBA, right? Not a lot of pop, almost no pop. But if he gets on first base, it's a triple half the time because no one can stop the guy. He's the kind of guy. And Dave Roberts said, Maury Wills told him this. He was one of Dave's mentors. He said, the moment when the whole stadium knows that you need to steal that bag and you steal it anyway, you'll be a base stealer.
Wow. Thank you.
What do you think about that, Johnny?
That was nice.
And Nasim is one of those guys. He really is.
I want you to not look at anything and just guess off the dome.
Oh!
What is CJ Abrams' stat line? How many bombs does he hit, and what is his OPS? Just do it for the fans.
Well, unfortunately, the homers are right in front of me, but so I see the homers.
So now you can probably guess the OPS is a big fatty. Yeah.
930, 940 OPS.
Yeah, it's a 940 OPS. I'm like wary of believing that you just off the dome that precision after confessing the home runs were on screen. But
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I did it off the dome in the sense that I added the OBP and slugging together. How's that for off the dome, right?
That's man, to a T. Call it Teapot Dome. Okay, so CJ Abrams has like probably 3 to 4 years of control left, right? Because 24, 25, 26. 24 was the rookie year. We're in 26. I don't know, like 6 to 7 years of before
6,
it got
7.
That's you got it. So Abrams, here's the thing. This is the moment when CJ Abrams is sold, if he is. This is the moment where the Washington Nationals should just like stop being a baseball team. Because the whole point.
You think so?
Here's why. When you try to acquire someone like a CJ Abrams, who is very controllable and clearly a shining star of the future, what the heck else are you looking for? If you're trading this guy away, it's like the Pirates trading away Skeens. You're basically confessing that I am a factory trying to benefit from, the trickle down of luxury taxes and sharing bonus sharing pools and stuff. And I'm just gonna paddle along and make my money. I'm an owner of a baseball team. This is cool. I can take people to my suites, and that's it. You're not actually committing to the bit of this is a ball club I love and care about. I want them to win the World Series. That's what you're telling me.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a moment. In that, with the Nationals trading Abrams, their response, I think if you were to press them in a, dimly lit cigar room, would be, well, listen, Johnny, he's arbed up already. Arb 3, you're paid market rate. So we basically got one more year where this guy's somewhat affordable. And we've already talked to him. He wants the biggest bag that he can get. It's probably not going to be with us. So we got to move him. We just got to move him. I mean, I can trade away 2+ years of CJ right now. I'm going to get a way bigger return than if I wait another year and then I only got 1+ years of CJ. And he's going to be paid, about market rate for that last year, which means teams are not going to offer nearly the same level of package.
That's great information. And to back it up, Mr. National Cigar Room Man, commit. And after this conversation and after you trade CJ Abrams, you go sign James Wood to a long-term deal. You go sign Luis Garcia to a long-term deal. You don't get to sell all of them off. Do this one, justify it how you want. He's not that defensive. We're willing to sacrifice the offense for a more defensive guy. We can get some returns. Get some pitching. Foster Griffin isn't enough. The bullpen is the worst in baseball history. Got it. But go sign the other guys before the arb years get too deep, and you can use that excuse again.
Man, so you got James, CJ. Before 24 hours ago, you had Curtis Mead. I mean, that is a team of Gold Glove guys, huh? Yeah, that is some rough.
It's kind of cool though, dude. It's who cares? It's like when you're choosing your character. I'm like age 5 again, playing Diddy Kong Racing on Nintendo 64, and I'm choosing the crocodile guy, Croc, I think. What was his name? Croc?
I'm not really a video game guy.
Oh yeah, high road us. You take the high road, I'll take the low road. You'll be in Scotland before me. I'm just joking because that's usually my line where I try to rise above people, and I'm like, yeah, you're a peasant. You play video games. You know what I do? I push myself in my free time. Study astronomy, language, some chess. Man.
I wish I played more chess.
My dad did love me enough, even though this bit I'm doing is giving off the opposite vibe.
Believe me.
Diddy Kong Racing Crocodile. I don't
Shout out Dr. Crowley.
Yeah, he's the GOAT. Crunch. Diddy Kong Racing Crocodile character is Crunch. Must be Australian. Crocodiles are saltwater creatures. I learned that from Steve Irwin.
Thank you, Mr.
Wait for
Irwin.
It. Not really a TV guy. Aidan Smith over here. Sorry, guys. All right. So, CJ Abrams, where's he going to go? I want to hear you. You're on the hot seat. CJ Abrams, top 2 suitors, and what's the deal? What's the package?
Ooh, so you're getting 2027 and 2028, right? I mean, you got to think most teams aren't planning to keep him at short, or do you think that CJ needs to be at short to maintain his self-esteem?
Nope, value, because you are robbing DH spot from a slower, chunkier dude with more excuses to play DH.
Well, because you're not putting CJ at DH, but you could maybe
second,
maybe second base. Yeah.
Okay.
The range just is poor. So I think I don't know if he has the arm for third base.
I mean, if you can't play short, you can't play third. You might be able to play second. He does have good sprint speed.
So the arm is average according to Savant. The range is really what's playing him into the bottom of the league, outs above average, or in his case, outs below average.
Oh wow, yeah, that
Uh,
range is one percentile.
Negative 43 right there for career on the range. So
Daddy-o, home on the range. That's bad.
we're also negative on the double play balls, not by
Okay.
nearly as much, but yeah, it looks like the arm's fine. So, man, do you try him out at third?
Oh man, I don't know how to play this game, but I want to do a little role play. Ready? You ready for
All
this?
right. Are you
Okay.
gonna play an exec and I play an exec, or where are we
We're
going?
we're in a smoke-filled bar room. We're actually CIA agents, and we happen to be playing the role of baseball executives. So we're talking in this very like
Oh, this
rapid
is
fire chess clock game. CJ Abrams, top two suitors. What is the trade package? Answer the question. Your life depends on it. Don't blow your cover.
Padres.
Okay, why?
I think the Padres have the gravitas and the package to put together to land a guy like CJ. I think they could trade like Ethan Salas, someone like that. Uh, they still have Mayfield, Weidman, and other pieces in the system. The thing is they have traded like multiple guys out of the system over the last few years because AJ Preller goes for it every season. But man, Padres, Yankees, I think. Padres or Yankees.
Okay.
Now, if you're going Yankees, I think you're probably trading George Lombard.
George
Or
Lombard. What a good name. I love that name every time.
or you're trading uh Dax Kilby and Elmer, or Dax and Carlos Lagrange. Maybe you're throwing Jason Dominguez in the mix there. You know,
Wow.
I
Wow.
mean, he's a short king, not a good outfielder. Uh,
Is is Jason ever going to ascend? Like,
you know,
because honestly, Ben Rice came out of nowhere, and now we're talking about like Aaron Judge light. He's limping their offense along in Judge's absence.
yeah.
And then like, where is Jason, dude? We've been hearing about Jason for years.
I thought you were gonna ask if he was gonna ascend to 6 feet tall.
That was good. All right,
uh,
hey, hats off to you.
and and Jason, neither you or I shall ever ascend to 6 feet tall, sir. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got to think George Lombard Jr. is going if either CJ or Mason are moved to New York, right? By the way, I don't see the Yankees getting both of those guys. I will
Hmm.
say that. I doubt it, right? It would take a lot to get CJ and Mason Miller.
Man, but the Yankees are deep, dude. They're never one to be doing these big like prospect trades. It feels like they're always just the buy high and watch them get injured and
I
and
mean,
retire there.
remember
Dude.
when they moved Michael King and that whole package to San Diego for Soto? That was kind of crazy.
Yeah. That does break the mold. Maybe that's enough of like one big prospect ship. Although Michael King wasn't a prospect ship. That was like a I'm a
No, but
reliever, go be a starter now thing.
yeah, they had like four or five guys in that deal. But so George Lombard, is that are they from the former province of Lombardy?
Whoa. Let's check it out. George Paul Lombard Sr., born September 14th, 1975, Virgo boys, played baseball and football at the Lovett School in Atlanta. Okay, not really seeing a lot of. Let's see early life here. Whoa, Weston, Massachusetts. Okay. Um, walked with Dr. King. Grandfather walked with Dr. King. Civil rights stuff. That's cool. And then played baseball. His maternal grandfather taught at the Harvard Business School for 41 years. That's dude. Bro is a spook. That's good.
So Lombardy is directly south of Switzerland,
Hmm.
and it is west. of Venice and east to Turin.
Did you know that George Lombard was a coach for the Dodgers in 2017?
No, but he's been around a while.
So George Jr. Just real quick, Connelly Early
George.
and George Lombard, the physiognomy check, man, great. Those guys, studs, absolute studs. They're going to be great ball players, Hall of Famers, first rounders, first balloters. Those guys are great. I mean, when I look at Connelly Early, my first thought is like Clay Buckles, like who's that other guy that they got from the
Oh,
Marlins?
I love Clay Buckles.
He was sick, dude. Who did they get from the Marlins? Josh Beckett.
Yeah.
Kind of like that vibe. Like
Same era.
Yeah, he just looks like he's going to be a dominant lefty. He's got a cool arm slot. He's just got this good look to him. George Lombard looks like a Yankee, man. Shoot, like, do they have to part with George to get Mason, or can they afford him? Is there a world in which the Yankees can both get C.J. Abrams and Mason Miller? Because if that happens, I'm calling it right now. World Series, New York, first time.
So, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Mason. So Mason shortens the game to 8 innings right now. You know,
That's valuable. That's so valuable.
It's incredibly valuable. You know what I remember about Josh Beckett's 2007 Topps card is on the back of his card, it talks about how he gave up 36 homers in his first year in Boston. And then he turned around and won the World Series, 20-game winner, second in the Cy Young. Yeah, honestly, do you think Topps was just trying to motivate Josh?
Yeah. Yeah. They were doing God's work. Sort of like in The Bear, the restaurant show, when Chef Carmy meets his former boss from New York when he was working. I think he was staging at this restaurant in New York. And the guy was a real stinker. And Carmy runs into him at some event. This is a TV show. I'm not trying to make this sound like real people, so sorry to be that guy. It's kind of cringe, or huge Orloss, whatever. Just kidding. Carmy goes up to this guy, and he's like, "Why were you so mean to me, man?" The guy's like, "I made you better. You know it." And it's like, dang, kind of back to that.
You know it.
That's so For the Sake of the Song by Townes Van Zandt. That's just like that mean chef waking up every day, he gets on his knees like, "Hey, thanks, big man, for another day. This beautiful life. So grateful. Give me the courage to play the role of the stern, testy master chef so I can make everybody around me better." Like, what if it's like that? He's having to play this role, man.
Well, you know what I was thinking about? I was watching this show that coincidentally Robert De Niro's in. But interesting, I mean, legendary career there. So he plays a former president, right? And the guy did one term, and sadly, his son dies, so he steps down, doesn't run again, right? But he has this great legacy in the show. I mean, it's like, bipartisan, everyone loves the guy, etc. And then the world's ending. There's like this apocalyptic like cybersecurity hack for the United States and everything. So the current president says, "Hey, Bobby, can you?" That's not actually his name, but can you come back and run this commission and everything, And he knows that it's going to destroy his legacy, but he thinks that he's the main person who can solve the problem, And to me, that reminds me of the stern chef that you're talking about, where he knows that it's going to impact his legacy and what everyone thinks of him, but he's pressing that big red button anyway.
Courage. That's courage. Doing things where you only care about God's opinion of you.
And what's also courage is Paul Taboni trading C.J. Abrams this week.
Wait, right now? That just happened. That just happened.
He will probably be traded, but we'll see.
Real quick scoring update. I know everyone is wondering about the Tetsuya Imai deal and how that's been faring. Tetsuya Imai has just given up 12 home runs in the first inning, breaking a major league record. He checked.
Can you imagine?
Which says a lot. A lot. But he's on his way. He's walked the first 2 batters of the game. So, last game was masterful. Like almost 10 strikeouts, scoreless.
Just give him time.
That's what they say. So, a couple other things to touch on. Tarik's probably going to be a Dodger. Astros can't afford him. Maybe some cool packages come out from the Brewers. Maybe the Rays. I don't see that. I can't fit. My brain will explode if the Rays do a big move like that. I can't think about that. Hunter Goodman's not going anywhere. The Mets are sellers and keeping this whole buy high, sell low. I think that's kind of their thing, right?
They seem to be pretty good at that, huh?
They're studs, man. I love it. Love that for them.
So, yeah, I think the comp that I've seen on this one is Troy Tulowitzki when he was traded from Colorado with that 9-figure deal left on the books. So that's what Lindor would look like. I think he's got 150 million, something like that. But
got it.
If someone's gonna pick up Lindor's deal, they're gonna have to eat some dollars, especially if they want to get any kind of prospect. And as we know, Cohen has a history of buying up to get a prospect, meaning, Justin Verlander is owed 10 million or whatever the rest of the year. Well, let's send him a $9 million check and then we'll get a prospect back. Because if you make him take the 10 million, you get no prospect.
Oh wow, that's an interesting thing. So he's coping. Yeah. He's coping with his whole sell low, buy high, buy. Well, I'm actually getting a prospect out of it. So whatever helps you sleep at night, Steve.
And he does that by eating dollars, right? So he'll call up Matt Arnold in Milwaukee and say, "Hey, Matty boy, how you doing? We'll give you a starting second baseman for free, but we want a prospect back."
Yeah, got you.
Kind of thing.
Oh no, sorry about that. Well, outro started playing. It was jumping the gun. I guess that's kind of our cue to wrap things up, but I don't want to leave yet. I'm having fun talking to my man Aidan.
Sometimes that outro has a quick trigger on it, but it's okay. I know when the music is being played to get me off the stage. Johnny, we can wrap here.
Sure. One last quick note before it is rap music time again. That's kind of like a modern monetary thing that. What if Cohen is being smart and money is the cheapest thing to him? It is literally printed. It's a negligible thing for him. So this is the way for him to reload his pond, dump poor contracts, and get good prospects. And that's just the market that he can plan. I don't know. I'll leave that to the audience. We can discuss for next time. But we'll see what happens with Ryan Jeffers and the sweepstakes they're in. Tarik Skubal. And how much the world loves Shohei Ohtani. He the GOAT. Can't deny it. And Hunter Goodman, 31 home runs as a catcher. First half of the season. That's phenomenal. But that's enough for us, folks. We'll be signing off. Painting-corners.com. You know where to find us. Articles, hot takes, and the merch. So, Johnny C., Aidan Smith, we're out.